Is President Trump undermining the election? Well, to answer that question, we need some information that we don't really have. Years ago, I was involved in a theological dispute, and out of that dispute, someone publicly accused me of being a legalist. I said it's a sin to do X. I won't tell you what X is, but I said it was a sin to do X. And someone came out and said, well, that's legalism. And one of my friends came to me and said, hey, how do you feel about being publicly accused of legalism? And I said, it doesn't trouble me in the least, because, if I'm wrong about X, then my accuser is right. And if I'm right about X, then my accuser is an antinomian. He's against the law of God. And so whether I'm a legalist or an antinomian is not the issue. The issue is whether or not X is a sin. Well, in the same way, there is the only way to reach the conclusion that the president is undermining the election is to reach the conclusion that the election votes were counted fairly. Now, they might have been. I don't know. But neither do you. Nobody knows. We have a situation where an election was close enough that there are some fears and there are reports, whether they're credible or not, I don't know, and you don't know, of some hanky-panky. We know that 4 years ago there were reports of hanky-panky, and we had a whole impeachment hearing after the fact to deal with it. Well, my point is not really about the election per se. The point is how easy it is for us to reach the conclusion that we want to reach, to find someone guilty, in this case the president, finding the president guilty of being stubborn or willful or being dishonest or dishonorable, simply because we don't like him, and if you want the other guy to win, that's how you look at it. But friends, if the shoe were on the other foot, most of us would have the opposite reaction. That is, if President Trump had been declared the winner by the Associated Press and several other outlines, and if candidate Biden, Senator Biden, had been raising concerns about some irregularities, everybody on the left would be, well, at ease. And many people on the right would be, oh, Joe, stop. Just give it up. I really want all of us to learn to be a little less given to confirmation bias, a little less weak in our ability to stop and consider if maybe we're the one that's in the wrong. Now, here's the situation. I don't know who's right and who's wrong. So why don't we all just admit that? I would say the same thing, by the way, about COVID. I have said the same thing about COVID. We have people just vehemently insisting that this is going to happen, or this must be done, or these masks must be worn in this context, or these meetings are not allowed. And then we have people insisting, oh, it's all a hoax, and etc. I don't know how real the danger is. I do know this, that if I say, hey, everybody needs to shelter in place unless they're protesting some political issue, or everybody needs to shelter in place unless they're doing something else, there's something wrong with that perspective. What I want to encourage you to do is slow down. Be willing to not know for a time. Be willing to wait for the actual evidence, not just the accusations, but the actual evidence. That's what it means to be a mature adult person with self-control. Let's hope there's more of us.